All eyes are set on Malaysia, where an extraordinary diplomatic effort has brokered an immediate and unconditional ceasefire between Cambodia and Thailand. This is to quell the sudden surge of violence along the border between Thailand and Cambodia. I am Gunjan Handa, bringing you the very latest on what's fast becoming Southeast Asia's most urgent security and humanitarian crisis. Malaysian PM Anwar Ibrahim announced publicly that the Southeast Asian neighbors have agreed to a ceasefire to halt days of deadly clashes. For the fifth day in a row, fighting raged along the frontier. Artillery mortars, troops mobilizing, with tens of thousands fleeing villages on both sides. The death toll tragically rose to above 30, and over 250,000 people were displaced, crowded into schools, temples, and hastily built encampments. But let's tackle the big question here first. Why was this border war even happening? At its heart is a dispute dating back well over a century, the Parya Vihir temple and the territory surrounding it. This UNESCO World Heritage Site, perched atop sheer cliffs, is as precious to historians as it is to the nationalists on both sides. For Thailand and Cambodia, ownership isn't just about land. It is identity, pride, and sovereignty. Flare-ups aren't new here, but things escalated sharply 5 days ago when a landmine wounded Thai soldier patrolling near the site. Both sides blame the other for starting the latest round. But what's undeniable is the suffering. Homes shelled, families separated, livelihood destroyed in merely hours. So what's Malaysia's role? And why are the US and China suddenly core players? That's where it gets interesting. This afternoon, Malaysia, currently chairing ASEAN, opened its doors to the highest level talks in years between Thailand and Cambodia. Also at the table were high-ranking diplomats from the United States and China. Now, that's a big shift, because just this week, Thailand's acting Prime Minister Phumtham Vechayachai was adamant that, quote, no outside mediation, this is for us to deal with directly. The spectre of superpower intervention was seen as a slippery slope, risking national sovereignty and regional credibility. But circumstances changed quickly. The surge in casualties, a looming humanitarian disaster, and mounting US trade pressure finally convinced both leaders sometimes you have to let the neighbors weigh in. So what did both sides bring to the table in Malaysia? Here's where the narrative splits. Cambodia's Prime Minister Hun Manet had made the purpose plain, saying, and I quote, "We are here for one reason, an immediate, unconditional ceasefire." Cambodian officials wanted fighting to stop, period. And humanitarian corridors opened for the displaced. The Thai side was much more cautious. Officials said they wanted peace but, quote, doubt Cambodia's sincerity. Trust between the two parties is, to put it mildly, in short supply. At stake wasn't just a centuries-old border, but the direction of regional diplomacy in Southeast Asia and potentially high-power relations. With Malaysia at the helm, this was also a test of ASEAN's ability to intervene when peace is threatened among its own members. And with both Washington and Beijing keen to play peacemaker, there's plenty of behind-the-scenes intrigue. Just days ago, Thailand rebuffed both superpowers' mediation offers, wary of being seen as pawns in another great power contest. But with war at the doorstep and trade headaches looming, the choice became stark. The choice to risk sovereignty in order to save lives. The US hailed fast de-escalation while threatening to suspend trade talks with Thailand and demanding access for humanitarian groups. China, meanwhile, pushed for dialogue without interference, quietly hoping to boost its role in ASEAN. Both are careful. While no one took sides, both hoped to jump at the chance to claim the credit for peace as it came. Ultimately, this conflict is about much more than old maps. For Cambodia, the ceasefire projected an image of reason. For Thailand, showing caution was about protecting national pride and not conceding even an inch. It is a win for regional solutions as Malaysia and ASEAN managed to broker a deal. The alternative was the risk that this border war could have grown into a much bigger, much more destabilizing force. On the ground, hope and fear ran high. For the families huddling in makeshift camps or waiting to cross dangerously quiet roads, peace could not have come soon enough. To sum up, diplomats finally came to an arrangement to cease the bloodshed, and the guns have now fallen silent. Malaysia's gambit paid off, reiterating ASEAN's credibility in the region. And for Thailand and Cambodia, the next hours may decide if old wounds can finally start to heal, or if Southeast Asia's most volatile feud only gets bloodier. As the ceasefire reaches ground, it remains to be seen if or not it holds. We'll stay with this story as it unfolds. For now, I'm Gunjan Handa for The Asian Chronicle.